I had a little crash with my EXO the other day, and so this is going to be how we're going to replace the head block, because as you can see, it's bent. So we're going to do that, and we're going to check the grips. Thanks. Be right back. Part of the other damage is that the blades were kind of destroyed in the crash, so we'll be taking a look at that too. But the first step in doing this is getting the blades off. And this kind of shows you even better how the spindle shaft on the head block is bent. This is the spindle that's bent on this side. The links all appear to be in good shape. So I'll pull those out, and then we'll come back and we'll take out the head block. Just a quick tip about removing the links from the grip arms. You want to be kind of careful about that. You want to be kind of careful because right here there's a little brass spacer, so you want to slide this back onto the screw. Okay, so when you take it out, you can take the whole thing out in one piece. Okay, be right back. And when you're removing the screw from the link, you want to be careful because you see that tiny washer. You want to hold on to that because that's important. That rides against the inner race of the bearing. Be right back. Okay, now we've got the links off, and we're going to now take off the head block. So be right back. Got the head block off, and yeah, this that's pretty bent. I really can't see it at that angle, but good God, is it bent? And the link arm appears to be good. So we're going to remove the grips, and we'll be right back. This is how I remove the grips. I stick a screwdriver, a hex driver through the main post, and the other hex driver goes on the nut, and then I just twist. And they're on pretty tight, so it's a two-handed job, so we'll be right back. And here we have one grip removed. You can see the center post screw, and we see the bearings inside of here. Now this bearing here is typically just press fitted in. I didn't put any green on that because it's not really necessary, because the grip swings outward and the screw just holds the bearing in place. This other bearing in back, though, that's put in with green thread locker, so it's going to be hard to get out, but I don't think we'll need to get it out this time because this grip appears to be in really good shape. So normally what I would do at this point is I'd pull the thrust bearings and repack them. So I'll pull out the other grip, and that's what we'll do next. And here's the bent hub. That side was bent. The bearings went inside, were hard to get off, so I took a screwdriver, and you can see it's a Phillips screwdriver. I stuck it inside of there, and I had to tap it out on that side. But that was fairly easy, and this is no good anymore, so there's no damage done. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the bearings. Be right back. Okay, so here the bearings are removed. This thrust bearing here, the bearing pack still has a little grease in it, but I'm going to go ahead and repack it. So I'll be right back when I repack. Here's the repacked thrust bearing now right here, and it's fully packed. Now there's a reason why we go ahead and we do this right now, is because we've got the grip off for one thing, and two, this is a normal maintenance item. And also three, and probably the most important factor in this instance, is there was a crash. These bearings are just very lightly pressed in, and they can fall out. So if you've broken, if in a crash, these bearings can fall out, become loose, and make your bearing feel notchy. In my case, they weren't, so we're in good shape there. So all I'm going to do is reassemble, and we want to reassemble it, making sure that the larger ID, inner diameter rather, bearing race is on the inside, and the outer bearing race is the tighter one that fits on your shaft of your spindle assembly. So we'll go from there. Be right back. Okay, I've got the repacked thrust bearing assembly as well as the radial bearing assembly arranged on a Thorpe driver in the way they go into the helicopter. You'll note that I put the open face of the thrust bearing towards the inside of the grip. So let's go ahead and put that in, and I'll be right back.